Hello and welcome to today's episode of Dream Business, Dream Life. I was going to start this episode by saying this is for people who are in the early stages of their business. But then I realised actually, many of my clients who are already making regular income in their business, who wouldn't consider themselves to be at the startup stage, are struggling to hit their next level growth because they haven't got some of this stuff in place. So what I'm going to talk about today really is for anyone. And the reason I've just shared that with you is that I think that in itself is something we need to touch on first. When we first launch a business, most people, me included, wing it. Back in 2006, when I started my e-commerce business, I had no idea what I was doing. So I totally winged it. I grew that business to multi-six figures, still winging it. And when I launched this business, yes, by that point, I'd got loads of experience being a business owner, but I still winged it in so many ways as the two businesses were so different. So I still had loads of stuff that I needed to learn. When we launch a business, most people do all of the things in the hope that something sticks. Most people find their way by doing the work, by doing the do, they find what it is they need to be doing. Lots of people have a plan, but they have no idea how to execute that plan. And even more so, they have no idea if it's the right plan. Quite often, what they have is a duplicate of somebody else's plan. So the plan doesn't feel right. It stays unopened and basically feels unachievable. Now, winging it is absolutely okay. It's absolutely possible to get your business off the ground by winging it. I always say done is better than perfect, and I absolutely stand by that. But at some point, you will become stuck. Your business will plateau, you'll feel overwhelmed, and despite trying everything, you're just not going to be able to push yourself to that next level. So today, I want to talk through some of the things that we need to get in place in order to build a long-term sustainable business. And these things are for everyone, not just for startup businesses. And these are things that we frankly don't see spoken about much at all because people seem to think that these things are just for big businesses, but they're not. They're for all businesses. Now, every single person who specializes in something, be it sales, messaging, mindset, tech, operations, will be able to give you an absolutely legitimate reason why the thing they do is the thing that you need, why it's the missing piece to your jigsaw. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need all of these things and that your business wouldn't be stronger if you had all of them. But what you actually need at the beginning of your journey is something quite different to what you need further down the line. What you need might be totally different to what the next person needs, as it all depends on what your skills are, what your gaps are. So today we're going to talk about some of the foundational stuff, the things we all need that we can build upon as our business grows and changes. Now, what people often think is that because they've got a marketing plan that says who they're going to sell to, what they're going to sell, when and how, that they have a strategy. But they don't. What they have is part of a strategy, an absolutely critical part, of course, but nonetheless, it's just part. So first up, we need to know where we want to take the business. We need a vision, a dream, a goal, call it what you like. But at the start of your journey, this vision might not be the ultimate long-term vision, as, well, you might not even know what that is yet. And as your business grows and changes, and as you grow and change, that vision may change too. But what you do need, even right at the beginning, is to know where you want your business to be in 2 to 3 years' time. But why? Why do we need a vision, Emma? Well, because without one, you're going to be constantly winging it. And we've just discussed the fact that winging it only works for so long. Without that vision, how can you know what you should be doing today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? How can you know what goals to set, what actions to take, and how can you know you're on the right track? How often Do you really leave home without knowing where you're going? And if you do, I guess it's just for a bit of fun. Maybe you're off on an adventure. Now, business absolutely can and should be fun, and it really is an adventure. But the difference between growing a business and making a little bit of extra money is strategy. And strategy has to start with a vision. You have to know where you're going. You also need to know what your values are, as these are things that are going to underpin everything that you do in your business, from the way that you show up and connect with your clients to the products and services that you sell. Your values are one of the things that make your business unique. And making sure that everything you do aligns with your values is going to really help you to build a strong, sustainable business, because people will know what they get, and that's consistency. People can go on and copy your offers, but they can't be you. Your values help you to shape who you are, who your business is, which is why you have to make sure they are built into everything within your business. People will notice if you suddenly start to do something that's not aligned with your values, which is why there is no such thing as a one-fits-all strategy, which is why things work for some people and not for others. Next up, market research. Now, market research gives you information that you may not already have. It's going to help you make decisions in your business. It's going to help you to understand what you should be selling, how you're interacting with your audience, your pricing structure, and so much more. Market research should be an integral part of what you do within your business all of the time. What I'm talking about today is specifically market research that will help you to fully understand your industry, your audience, and where your business sits within your niche. I'm talking about SWOT analysis. Now, this is where people go, oh, that's for corporates, not for me. No, this is for everybody. SWOT analysis is research that's going to help you to determine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that your business has. You need to be really clear on where you want to position your business, and this research is going to enable you to do that. Everything you do, every decision you make needs to target this position within your industry that you want to be at. So, for example, let's say you're a high-end party planner, organising parties for the rich and famous. You need to be focusing on high-end products and services, high-end venues, and your connections need to be in the high-end market too. Your branding, your content, it all needs to be high-end. You need to show up like a high-end party planner, not someone that can pull off any party. Now, that doesn't mean you can't pull off any party. Of course you can. You're a party planner, but you're positioning yourself as high-end. So you need to be seen as high-end. Your ideal client don't want to be confused by you talking about parties that are just not connecting with them. Now, what market research will give you is how you can best do that, how you can best connect with those people, how you can stand out from others in your market, and also to see where the gaps lie within your industry, because you can look to fill those gaps. What strategy will then go on and do is give you loads of focus on who you are as a business. And who you are as a business is the one thing that needs to be constant. Who you are as a business needs to stay the same. The products and services you offer can totally change. Ask in the way you do marketing and selling. The other thing that I want to touch on today is operations. Now, very few businesses have proper operations in place. Now, what operations are actually needed really do vary depending on your business, depending on what stage you're at in your business, depending on the type of business that you run. But the sooner you start to have some of this stuff documented, the easier and quicker you'll be able to adapt and grow your business. So the operations I'm referring to today are things like processes and the customer journey. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my e-commerce business was not documenting processes. So when we reached the point of needing staff, which for us happened really quickly, it was a real struggle, a real battle, not only recruiting the right people, but also training them to do the job efficiently. We were so busy trying to keep up with what we needed to do. It literally took us years of having a team before we were even able to start thinking about documenting the processes, which looking back now is absolutely crazy. If we documented them earlier, before we actually needed them, we would have been able to recruit the right people for the right job. We would have been able to train people with a standard process, not processes we all did slightly differently. So we all train them slightly differently. We would have been in more control of what was going on. And our team would have ultimately felt more in control of their job too. But beyond that, we would have been able to spot the gaps better. We would have been able to improve efficiency, reduce costs, which ultimately meant we may have been able to step back from some of the day-to-day doing, which was the thing that was taking over my life. And then I would have been able to focus on what I should have been doing, which was being CEO of that business. And maybe, just maybe, the business would never have become the monster it did if we'd have just had those processes documented. So yes, you absolutely can start to earn money without processes, but I recommend you get them in place well before you think you need them, because you never know when something's going to creep up on you and you're going to need them quickly, and by which time you probably haven't got the time to do them. As an absolute minimum, you need to know the process your clients have to go through to work with you. And what I mean by that is from the minute they first find you until they buy from you and beyond. Because remember, the customer journey, the client journey doesn't end the minute they make a purchase from you. So my top tip for today has to be map out your customer journey. To work out exactly what it feels like to be a client of yours, from how they find you to how you nurture them and how they buy from you, to what happens once they've bought. How do you service them? And how do you maintain that relationship? Because happy customers are more likely to buy from you again. Happy customers are much more likely to recommend you. The customer journey should underpin everything within your business. What this will help you with is 3 things: consistency, efficiency, which ultimately leads to happier clients, and that leads to more sales. Now, strategy is much bigger than what I've spoken about today. This is just some of the things that I wanted to go through. And over the upcoming podcast episodes, I am going to delve into lots more of it. But this is stuff that so many people don't have in place. And it is stuff that really can make a massive difference to your long-term sustainability. So make sure you spend some time thinking about what you have in place for your business. This is your business. You want to be in control. And the things I've spoken about today are going to help you to be in control. Thank you for listening. See you next time.